Hi students, welcome to the video lecture 3 of module 3 topic transportation problem. In lecture 2, we discussed about the topic basic feasible solution, methods of finding basic feasible solution, northwest corner rule, and we solved problem on northwest corner rule, least cost entry method or matrix minima method, and we solved one problem on least cost entry method. In today's lecture, we'll discuss about Ogle's approximation method and we'll solve one problem on Ogle's approximation method. Procedure of Ogle's approximation method are as follows. Step 1. For each row of the transportation table, we have to identify the smallest and the next two smallest cost and determine the difference between them for each row. That is, difference of smallest and next to smallest cost difference is been calculated, and these are called penalties or opportunity cost. We can call it as row penalties as well, and we need to put them alongside of the transportation table against the respective rows. So for which row we are calculating the penalties, we need to put them along that side only. Similarly, we compute these penalties for each column, which are called as column penalties. Okay. Step 2. We identify the row or column with the largest penalty among all the rows and column penalties. If a tie occurs, we use an arbitrary tie breaking choice. So what is this arbitrary tie breaking choice? We'll discuss while solving the problem. Let the greatest penalty correspond to ith row and let Cij be the smallest cost in the ith row. That is, we consider the largest penalty, and in that particular row or column we consider the least transportation cost. To allocate the largest possible amount, that is Xij is equal to minimum of Ai comma Bj, that is minimum of supply and demand in the I comma j of the cell. So we compare supply and demand, whichever is minimum we allocate in that particular cell, and cross of the ith row or jth column, that is striking of the ith row or jth column in the usual manner what we did in northwest corner rule or least cost entry method. Step 3 is to recompute the column penalties and row penalties, and again we need to follow step 2 for the allocation of the units until all the requirements are satisfied. Now let us solve the problem on Ogle's approximation method. Milk in a milk shed area is collected on three routes A, B and C. There are four chilling centers P, Q, R and S where milk is kept before transporting it to a milk plant. Each route is able to supply on an average 1000 liters of milk per day. The supply of milk on routes A, B and C are 150, 160 and 90,000 liters respectively. Daily capacity in 1000 liters of chilling centers is 140, 120, 90 and 50 respectively. The cost of transporting 1000 liters of milk from each route source to each chilling center destination differs according to the distance. These costs in rupees are shown in the following table. So the 16, 18, 21 are nothing but transportation cost. We need to find the basic feasible solution for the above problem using Ogle's approximation method. Here this ABC are nothing but supply, which is nothing but 150, 160 and 90, which is given in the problem, and this demand is also given in the problem. So before solving the problem we need to check whether the given problem is a balanced transportation problem or not. So to do that we need to add all the supplies, that is summation of supply is coming 400, similarly summation of demand is also coming 400. Since summation of supply is equal to summation of demand, the given transportation problem is a balanced transportation problem. Now the first step is what? We need to identify the row penalties and column penalties. Okay. So what is row penalties? So we need to identify the smallest cost. So your smallest cost is 12 and next smallest cost is what? 16. So 16 minus 12 is what? 4. That is nothing but the row penalty. We are writing along the side of that particular row. Similarly, column penalties. So what is the least cost here? Here least cost is 16. Next list is 17. 17 minus 16 is how much? 1. That is been written here. Similarly, we calculate it for other rows and columns. Okay. That is here 13 and 14 are the two least cost. 14 minus 13 is 1. 10 and 11 are the least cost for this particular row. 11 minus 10 is 1. Similarly, here 11 and 18 are the least cost. 18 minus 11 is 7. 15 and 14 1. 10 and 12 2. So here next step is what? We need to identify the largest penalty. Largest penalty is what? 7 here. Largest penalty is 7. In this particular column, we need to identify the least cost. So here least cost is what? 11. In this particular, we need to allocate the units. So here I compare supply and demand, which is minimum here. 90 is minimum. So 90 will be allocated in that particular cell. Later that has to be reduced in supply and demand. So 90 minus 90 is 0. 90 minus 90 is 0. 120 minus 90 is 30. So now in this particular row, since supply is met, no other allocation can be made. So it has to be striked off. It has been striked off. So again we need to identify the row penalty and column penalty for the reduced transportation table. So here since there is no change, the row penalty will remain same. Here also the row penalty will remain same. In column penalty we need to check. So 17 minus 16 is 1. So 19 minus 18 is 1. Here there is a change. So here 14 minus 21 minus 14 will come 7. So 13 minus 12 will be 1 here. Okay. Here again largest penalty is 7, which corresponds to R column. So here least cost is what? 14. So we need to compare 90 and 160. So 90 is minimum. So I'll allocate 90 here. Next I have to reduce it from demand and supply. So 90 minus 90 is 0. And 160 minus 90 is 70 is remaining. Again I have to calculate the row. Now I will strike off this particular column as no more allocations can be made as demand is met here. Now I will again calculate row penalties and column penalties for the reduced transportation table. So here again 16 minus 12 is 4. 17 minus 13 is 4. Here there is no case. 17 minus 16 is 1. 19 minus 18 is 1. Here it is striked off, so we can't calculate. So 13 minus 12 is 1. So here if you see, there is a tie in the largest penalty. Both is having penalty 4. So what we do, we check which row has the least cost. Here least cost is 12. In this particular row least cost is 13. So 12 is least among both. So this particular row will be selected for allocation. And 12 is the cell where we can allocate. So I compare 50 and 150. 50 is minimum. So that will be allocated here and it will be reduced from supply and demand. So 50 minus 50 is 0. 150 minus 50 is remaining is 100. So this particular column will be striked off. Again I have to calculate the row penalty and column penalties for the reduced transportation table. So 16 18 minus 16 is 2, 19 minus 17 is 2. So here 17 minus 16 is 1, 19 minus 18 is 1. So again there is a tie here, 2 and 2. So here least cost is coming here. So this particular row will be considered for allocation. So here 140 and 100 is compared. 100 is minimum, so 100 will be allocated there. 100 will be allocated there, and it has to be reduced from supply and demand. So 100 minus 100 is 0, 140 minus 100 is 40. So this particular row will be striked off. So we are left with only 2 blocks, and we are left with 40 plus 30. So here if you allocate 40 here, so it will be demand will be satisfied. So here 70 minus 40 will be 30. So remaining is 30 here, that will be allocated here. So now all the allocation has been made and all the demand and supply are 0. So now I can calculate the transportation cost. So here the procedures are written, that whatever the comparison we have made, okay, just go through this. Since all the supply and demand are 0, here the total number of allocated cell is equal to 6 is equal to m plus n minus 1, that is number of source plus number of destination minus 1 is equal to 6. Hence the solution is non-degenerate basic feasible solution. So total cost is nothing but cost into number of units allocated in that particular cell. So after simplifying this, we are getting the minimum total transportation cost is equal to 5,700. Generally, Vogel's approximation method is preferred over the other methods because the initial basic feasible solution obtained is either optimal or very close to the optimal solution when you compute it with Vogel's approximation method. So thank you dear students. So I'll meet you in the next lecture, that is of Modi method.